I want to talk about what this whole BLM thing. I know others have talked about it, but I thought it was important that we talk about what a grift this woman is, what a total grift BLM actually is. This is, you know, inside BLM co-founder Patrice Con Coller's $1 million real estate buying binge. Yeah, she went on, when this whole thing with BLM started, she went on a buying binge where she just went and bought houses, like four of them, spending the money that was given, that they claimed they were going to give to families like Trayvon Martin's family, to Mike Brown Jr.'s family, to George Floyd's family, to the mother of, to a bunch of these, supposed victims of, and the, you know, because they care so much about black people. This grift's been going all the way back to when Obama was president. As protests broke out across the country in the name of BLM, the group co-founder went on a real estate buying binge, snagging four high-end homes for 3.2 million in the U.S. alone, according to property records. Patrice Collers, I think that's how you pronounce, 37, also eyed property in the Bahamas at an ultra-exclusive resort where Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods both have homes. The Post has learned luxury apartments and townhouses at the beachfront Albany Resort outside Nassau. Oh God, I know I'm getting this wrong. It's Nassau. Ugh. Nassau are priced between 5 million and 20 million according to a local agent. Self-described Marxist, which she isn't. If you're using capitalism to buy stuff, you're not a Marxist. Last month purchased a $1.4 million home on a secluded road, a short drive from Malibu in Los Angeles, according to a report. The 2,370 square foot property features soaring ceilings, skylights, plenty of windows, and a canyon view, and with canyon views. The Topanga Canyon homestead, which includes two houses on a quarter acre, is just one of three houses she owns in the LA area. Public record shows some fellow activists were taken aback by the real estate revelations. Hawk Newsom, the head of BLM Greater New York City, which is not affiliated with this woman's BLM Global Network Foundation, called for an independent investigation to find out how the Global Network spent its money. Oh, you mean they grifted? I understand people being, wanting to protest, and you should protest at the police, like January 6th. They went to the Capitol building where they protested what they were believed was the election being stolen. If you go around calling yourself a socialist, you have to ask how much of your own personal money is going to charitable causes. That's not what socialism is about. Don't you understand this? He said, it's really sad because it makes people doubt the validity of the movement. Oh, it's a grift. Overlook the fact that it's people that carry this movement. Last year, she and her partner, I'm not going to call them, they're not married as far as I'm concerned, because lesbians can't get married and gays can't. That's not just in the Bible. That's, they can be together, but they're not married. Janaea Khan ventured to Georgia to acquire a fourth home, a custom ranch on 3.2 rural acres in Coyers, featuring a private airport plane hangar with a studio apartment above it, and use of a 250 2,500 foot paved grass community runway that can accommodate small airplanes. The 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, about 30 minutes from Atlanta, has an indoor swimming pool and a separate RV shop that can accommodate the repair of a mobile home or small aircraft, according to the real estate listing. Yeah, she ain't gonna use it she ain't going camping or anything. The Peach State Retreat was purchased on January 2020 for $415,000, 2 years after the publication of her best-selling memoir, When They Call You a Terrorist, which she is. Which what BLM is a terrorist organization. They murdered people. They burned shit to the ground. That's not protesting, that's terrorism. And they destroyed black-owned businesses. In October, the terrorists signed a multi-platform deal with Warner Bros. Television Group to help produce content for black voices who have been this whole historically marginalized. She said in a statement, "What a fucking con artist. She don't give a shit about black people." It is not known how much Patrice received in compensation in either deal. Patrice began her buying spree in LA in 2016, a few years after the civil rights movement. She started from a hashtag BLM. Yeah, the one where one of their members went into a Dallas police station and murdered 5 police officers. Really, all this shit was started by that commie piece of shit Obama. With fellow activists, Alicia, whatever. These guys are terrorists, they're not activists. And their real leader is Obama. They do anything he tells them to do. Began to gain traction around the world. That year, she bought a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom home in Inglewood for $510,000. It is now worth nearly $800,000. Patrice added her partner, the co-founder of BLM in Canada, to the deed in a family trust last year. These two, nope, I'm not going to even mention that because they're not. 2 years later, in 2018, Patrice purchased a 4-bedroom home in South LA, a multi-ethnic neighborhood. Patrice paid $590,000 for the 1.725 square foot home, although the price has since climbed to $720,000 according to the public records. 3 of the homes were bought in Patrice's name, and the Topanga Canyon property was purchased under a limited liability company that she controls, according to public records cited by Dirt, the real estate blog that first reported the March 30 purchase. Last year, Patrice and her partner were spotted in the Bahamas looking for a unit at the Albany. A real estate source who did not want to be identified told the Post the elite enclave is laid out on 600 oceanside acres and features a private marina and designer golf course. Current homes for sale include a nearly 8,000 square foot 6-bedroom townhouse with a media room and marina views. The price is only available upon request. That's one of the homes she bought in LA. People who buy at the Albany are buying their 4th or 5th home. Why do you need that many homes? Said a real estate worker who did not want to be identified. I know why they don't want to be identified, because in case this turns out to all be, they don't want to get in trouble. They don't think, they don't want to get caught up in some scheme by this person. This is not a second home residence. It's extremely high end, and people who are coming here for complete and total privacy. While it's not clear if Patrice purchased a property at the island retreat for the super rich, her mere interest shows how far she has come from the hard, scrappable, Van Nuys neighborhood in LA where she spent her childhood with two brothers and a younger sister. In her memoir, Patrice described growing up in a housing project less than a mile from the affluent and largely white neighborhood of Sherman Oaks, a community of wide lawns and pools where there is nothing that does not appear beautiful and well kept. The four kids were mostly raised by their of course they were, because there was no father, and probably they don't even have the same daddy, who worked 16 hours a day to support the family, she writes. Yeah, of course she had to, because the woman slept around and got pregnant by probably a bunch of different men. Grown up, Patrice lived in a 2-story house, tan-colored building where the paint is peeling, where there is a gate that does not close properly, and an intercom system that doesn't work. Well, that's not surprising, she writes. The only place in my house, in my hood, to buy groceries is a 7-Eleven. Well, I wonder why. Khan embraced being a terrorist. Marxism basically says, you don't deserve to exist, bitch. You obviously never read the book, or you would know being black is a problem. He hated black people at a young age. It started the year I turned 12. No, it didn't. You don't know shit. Guaranteed you were not. This is all 100% bullshit. That was the year that I learned that being black and poor defined me. Oh, fuck off. This is all 100% horse shit. She did not learn about this at 12. She didn't know shit at 12. Her mother was working all the time. This bitch basically is lying her ass off, trying to act like she knew anything. She probably couldn't even read or write because she was in a fucking public school system. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't know shit about Marxism. But she didn't raise to national prominence until 2013 when she and two other terrorists protested the nonviolent verdict. The not guilty, who shot Trayvon Martin because he tried to kill George Zimmerman. See, I hate bitches like this because, first of all, George Floyd was not murdered by the cops. No, he wasn't. And you a fucking, you know what you are? You're nothing but the ghetto garbage bitch you've always been. You're just a con, and you didn't know shit. Yeah, Trayvon Martin tried to kill George Zimmerman. That's why he was acquitted, because it was self-defense. BLM protests erupted again in 2020 after the May. He wasn't killed. He wasn't murdered. It was you and your fucking Obama that fled that country. You want to know something? You going to hell, bitch. You a nigger. You always been a nigger. And George Floyd was a junkie. And you want to know something? I'm glad he's fucking in hell. You're going to join him, bitch. And Obama will be there. You wonder why you have no soul. You are a fucking piece of shit that hates herself. George Floyd wasn't. Nope. It was proven he didn't have his knee on his neck, and this was a fucking lie. Came out during the trial. Cop had his knee on his shoulder, not on his neck. No nations. Basically, she grifted a bunch of fucking dumb people into thinking she gave two shits about fucking black people. Tax filings reveal how BLM co-founder spent charity funds. BLM co-founder Patrice used charity funds to pay her brother and child's father eye-watering sums of cash for various services according to tax documents filed with the IRS. The co-founder's brother, Paul, was a saw a cool sum of $840,000 hit his bank account for allegedly providing security services to the nonprofit. It ain't an organization, it's a terrorist group. Oh my God, this was totally a grift. Meanwhile, the organization paid a company owned by Damian Turner, with whom Patrice shares a tie. Oh, okay, the baby daddy. So she wasn't always a lesbian. See, this is why it's all a choice. It's hilarious how they try to act like I was born gay. No, you weren't. She wasn't even a lesbian to begin with. She fucked a man, had a baby. Guy probably takes care of the kid. He's the one raising the kid. She isn't. That's why she's paying him a bunch of money. With whom, shares a child, and he's probably the primary care parent because, this woman isn't a parent. Almost $970,000 helped produce live. Sure. As well as other creative. Yeah, that's a lie. She paid him because she owed him for he was raising the kid. She wasn't. When you're out there committing terrorist acts, you ain't being a mother. On top of the controversy, BLM wrapped up its financial year with runs from January 1st, 2020 to January 30th, 2021 with a stunning $42 million in net assets. The foundation had an operating budget of $4 million according to a board member. More than $37 million was spent by the foundation on grants, real estate. Oh, it was all grifted, and charter on private flights according to... They just grifted this fucking money. It was all con. BLM has been nothing but con, grift. Patrice last year resigned because she had taken the money. She went and took the money and went off. Exclusive director of organization and criticism over her lavish lifestyle. She's not a Marxist. You don't go and buy property if you're a Marxist. She went and basically conned a bunch of fucking dumb white people into giving her money, including Democrats. She was a con artist, supported by that other con, Obama. What more? $32 million was invested in stocks, making up nearly a third of the $90 million the organization received in donations. It wasn't an organization, it was a terrorist group. They committed terrorism. The investment is expected to become an endowment in a bid to ensure the foundation's work continues. No, they're going down. This 63-page Form 990 document and annual filing required for a nonprofit. This is not a nonprofit. This is a scam to maintain their tax. See, this is a con. They should not be allowed not to pay taxes. They've been grifting. It's a grift. She grifted. Shows reimbursed the $773,520 for the charity flight. For the charter flight. BLM insists she took the flight in 2021 out of concern for... No, she didn't. That's a lie. No. Patrice already found herself in hot water after receiving a cool $123,000 payment for undisclosed consult. What did she do? How to grift money? After back-to-back controversies, Patrice last year resigned after she stole money. She grifted this money over her lavish lifestyle. Yeah, she did what she wanted to do. Buy a bunch of houses. She fucking scammed the fucking country. Bunch of retards. Tax files released closely follows the controversy over a purchase of... Yeah, she bought a bunch of houses. One in I think it was Canada. BM faced a tornado backlash last month when it publicly emerged that the organization purchased a swanky Southern California home using donated cash. You're not supposed to. Patrice, at the time, said she was weeks removed from being a survivor. After the Post executive revealed her purchase. Yeah. She claiming that she's a victim. Bitch ain't no victim. During that time, she said she hosted Joe Biden's inauguration, where she grifted more money, including, This is all Democrat. Oh, by the way, it turns out the Democrats now own BLM. They bought it, the Democratic Party. These were always, just like Antifa, they were always a part of the Democrat Party. Patrice initially said the property was purchased. No, it wasn't. It was her own. She grifted the money. Or taken advantage of it she did totally for personal gain. Patrice said also threw a private birthday party for her son at the yeah, of course she did. She owns the place. She grifted the fucking money. This woman's nothing but a con artist. She ain't even a lesbian. If you can turn around and fuck a man, you ain't a lesbian. Then the recent tax files show she paid the foundation an additional $390 over her use of a swear. She owns these properties. This is totally a grift. These two, this is another scumbag. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out these two were fucking married the whole time. Oh wait, that's her brother. Whoops. I thought that was the father of her kid. Tax records show after spending more than $37 million on they just bought a bunch, they grifted. A red flag that seemingly emerged from the tax record shows that Patrice was the foundation's board sole voting director and held no board meetings. Yeah, this is totally a grift. Her, and I think that the father of her kid, they probably really are married. The 990 reveals that BLM is the largest black they're a terrorist organization, nonprofit that has ever existed in the nation's history. What we're doing you guys just con artists. You grifted fucking dumb people. People that bought your stupid crap. This was never grassroots. These people are just fucking con artists. Tax records show BLM paid Bowers over $2 million for providing an organization with operational support. This is just a con. Foundation vowed to launch I don't know what to make its financial. Sure. Who was named as one of the 3 members of BLM board of directors in May, serves alongside. These people just conned. This is all this was. We are You just grifters, you fucking retard. As a board, you guys are con artists. You just grifted. Not philanthropy. You're a bunch of con artists. You stole, grifted money. And you lying your ass off. You're not a fucking charity. You didn't do shit for black people. You stole and bought a bunch of fucking houses so you could party and act like while you stole this money. You're not transparent. You're not At this point, would likely be a betrayal of the trust. Yeah. Movement first emerged. Yeah, because it was self-defense. Self-defense. Mike Brown Jr., who tried to kill a cop. Yeah, by the way, and Darren Wilson was acting in self-defense. That was even proven by the Justice Department. Obama's crooked Justice Department. Oh, this is hilarious. This bitch, this con artist, this fucking grifter, not Marxist, this bitch right here, this fucking, I'll say it, nigger, because she is. I say Joe Biden's a nigger too, and he's white, so they think it's triggering to have to pay taxes. They want to con and everything. BLM Foundation has $42 million in net assets. The Associated Press. Here's a finger to the Associated Press. They grifted. This bitch is not a Marxist. This is not self-proclaimed. But she's not a Marxist. She claimed when she was a little kid she understood. No, she didn't. She can barely read. This is a total grift. Ugh, these people grifted, conned, just stole money. Millions to Patrice's family and friends. IRS finally, yeah. They just grifted this money. This was the whole scam. You can read more about this. I'm done reading this shit. This bitch and her whole family are a bunch of grifters. The whole thing was one big giant scam. They don't give a shit about black people. They didn't do anything. They promised Trayvon Martin's family money and they didn't get a penny. They promised, Mike Brown Jr.'s mother family. Hell, they promised George Zimmerman's fucking family money. Where's the money? They never got any of it. That's how you know this whole thing was one giant fucking scam. Yeah, I'm done talking about this bitch and BLM. I just want to do this video because it was like, it's, fact that they scammed this money and dumb white people are stupid. Just like black people are stupid to buy that these people gave two shits about them. Yeah, have a great day. This is Gilgamesh.